Darius Davis entering his first full season here with the Dogs. We caught up with him back in the spring. Now we dive into his defensive line room here in fall camp. All right, I know scrimmage number one, not going to be anything from perfect, and you as coaches, there's going to be a lot to point at and get better. Sure. But biggest positives that your group can take away from today for the first time truly hitting with the full pad zone.
Yeah, I think the thing I took back is that one thing we've been able to show all practice and so far during fall camp is just our physicality. I think we get in those situations where, okay, it's 1 yard to go, it's 2 yards to go. What are we going to do? Well, what's going to show up? And that physicality. That's the thing I pride myself on in teaching the D-line is we got to be dogs. Our name's a dog. So the first thing of that is we got to be physical. We got to show that grit, you know. And so that's what I talk about in our D-line room is being gritty. And so we showed a lot of grit in a lot of situations. We might have bent a little bit, but we didn't break.
In terms of building that depth, you know how important it is in terms of that D-line room. You just can't have 4, 5, 6 guys. It's got to be extremely deep when you rotate, especially in this league. Yeah. I know you're probably not anywhere near from a finished product and knowing what your rotations are going to be, but in terms of the depth within the room, what gives you most optimism as you go throughout camp that's starting to get developed?
I'm thinking that the thing we have that when we went to the offseason and try to attack some of the positions that we needed is versatility. And so I think you just talk to guys like Cam and you talk to guys like Jake. They're versatile. They can play inside. They can play outside. We can play those guys in multiple positions. And then you have guys like Byrne who can play both sides, inside 3 technique and play nose, and Noah as well, and K. Lou and some of those guys, and Caden, he's back from injury. So that adds versatility, and that's important. So if somebody goes down or something happens, knock on wood, or someone's tired, now we can bring somebody in. Hey, I'm bringing the best player. I might not bring the same position, but I can bring the best player because they do multiple things. So I think that's the biggest thing is down learning what their strengths are and what their weaknesses is. And my job is to make sure to set them up for success, so I don't put them in situations that they're not comfortable with. And so that's what I'm trying to learn right now and keep developing and just sharpen that iron with the O-line, and them doing their job up front is going to help us be better.
Donnie, appreciate the time, man. I know we'll catch up with you after the first scrimmage. Definitely. Just how'd the body hold up? What are the biggest takeaways defensively as a group?
Man, it was solid. It's hot out here, so guys adapting to that, but it's good to see everybody overcoming that and pushing through, and I think it was overall a good scrimmage.
One of the things I really loved about you is, one, you're a great guy to talk to just from time to time to practice, but you got a way to get into a certain mode and a mindset when you get on the field.
Definitely.
Describe that switch for you of just your personalities kind of on and off the field.
Yes, sir. No, definitely. I was raised to definitely be respectful off the field, but when it's on, when we're on the field and it's game time, it's game time. So that switch is just, it's always been in me, from grade school all the way through, college now. So
what do you enjoy most about the competition in this sport, and specifically in your position when you're right there in the battle at the line of scrimmage?
Man, like you said, I just love the competition. I love to win. I hate to lose, so that fuels me. Every rep that I take, I look at it like that. If I lose, I'm gonna feel it for sure. So I try to win everything I can.
All right, Byrne, how's life been as a Saluki for you and part of the D-line?
It's been great, man. A lot of football played here, a lot of great football played. They take great care of us here. Since I've been added to the program, felt the support of the defensive staff for sure. Obviously, Coach Davis and Coach Prawn and Coach Mack, they believe in me and believe in my potential to help our defense win games.
One of the things I've learned about you very early on, you're not a bashful guy. You're not afraid to use your voice. You're not afraid to be a vocal leader and be heard and be seen. How would you just describe your leadership style and where you fit in terms of that come the defensive line?
Honestly, in my last year, I feel like it's every guy when they enter the last year, it's like a new sense of urgency, enters your spirit. And I've never been a person who wanted things sugar-coated, so, that's how I am with my peers on the defensive line, because when we're in games, we're all we got sometimes, sometimes guys are going to go down, we're going to face adversity, so sometimes you can't sugarcoat things. You can't, tell guys, not a nice way to tell somebody to lock in, you got to it's got to be in their face, and it's going to make them better. They might not like it in the moment, but it's going to make you ultimately better.
You have experience obviously with Coach Davis, and you come over, and I was just overhearing you guys after practice telling guys, hey, this is what you can kind of expect to come. Yeah. How important is that, just having that shared experience? And one, you got playing experience to go with it, but you also know for a majority of the room that maybe hasn't been around Coach Davis as long as you, that's an extra boost.
I think it's tremendous, honestly, especially because he's like the right person to teach the defense. He coached it for about 3 years at Robert Morris, and coming here, you know, a lot of guys, you know, they come up to me and ask, you know, what can we expect with this, and this, but you know, I think with me in the on the program, it helps, you know, them as well, like know that if they like, you know, if they have, you know, any like confusions, they can come to me as a person who played on defense as well.
Jake, appreciate the time, man. Take the fans really through your progression here and how you felt when you first got here, how much time it's taken you to get acclimated, and now in terms of just understanding, ready to play, how you feel heading into this year than you've had in previous years.
Oh yeah, I feel much better going into this year. So my first practice, I transferred here January 2023. First practice at spring ball, tore my ACL. So it was like crazy story. First practice at Saluki, come in, was playing good day 1, 2. End of practice, hurt my knee. Had to go through a whole, basically 1.5 year process of rehabbing it because the following spring I was back, but I was in a green jersey, so I was just doing indie, all that. And then last fall camp was my first time playing in like 1.5 years going into the year. So that was kind of a big adjustment to get back to. And then also I think the main thing is this past offseason, I got a full offseason again where I'm not rehabbing anything. And Mead got me right. I'm more athletic than I've ever been, faster, stronger, all that. So I'm really excited going into this year.
I asked this question to Byrne, I'll ask it to you too. The best part about being a D lineman in this defensive scheme is what?
Just we get to fly around. That's the main thing. This defense is built for 4 D-line dogs up front to just go after it.
All right, Cam, how's fall camp? How you holding up, man, after scrimmage number 1?
Man, it's good, man. Honestly, just learning the role, coming in and just trying to play my role and get better every day. You know.
You guys as a defensive line unit, what's the best thing about you guys as a group?
Honestly, the way we just fly around to the ball, we play real physical, and we just play for each other. Honestly, the group, we're real close. We do a lot of things off the field and on the field together, and I just feel like we play as a team and all together.
What are the biggest things you bring to this position group that you want to be strengths of the room?
Honestly, just being physical and being a run stopper. Also, I have, you know, I can pass rush too, but I just want to be, you know, you got to stop the run before you can get to the pass. So just really being physical on the first couple downs and then getting after the QB on that third.
What's been the biggest message within you guys in that defensive line room of what the daily expectation is for you guys here in King?
Honestly, just really staying focused and, you know, seeing it through, seeing the real plot of just all of us being great as a D-line, the communication being there, and honestly just being a whole, like, as in getting better as a team. So, you know, it starts up front with us. You know, we make the whole machine really oil and, you know, go. So it got to start with us first, and then we set the expectations for everybody else.